welcome back to my channel. My name is Joanne. Yes, I've just jumped on very promptly because I've just seen something that, yes, I titled it. So this is another Katie Joy stream. Yep. I know I do a few of them in a row and then I stop. And anyway, but look, there has to be something happening because her Instagram is very, very telling at the moment, and it's very concerning in my opinion. Now, usually when I have a bad day, I just speak to somebody and have a bit of a rant. But this is social media. So she's got, if you've been scapegoated, and hypocrisy, the narcissistic family. She's referred to being visible. She's talked about SA. She's talked about ADHD trend, and she's spoken about her being spanked as a child. All these things that she's talking about that, in my opinion, are very concerning. Scapegoat party of one. I'm making reservations. Will you come to my party? Comment below. So being blamed for everything that goes wrong in the family. Most family stories center around your inadequacy, feeling like you don't belong in the family of origin. You've been told you're crazy if you try to point out other family issues. Then only one, you. Self-blame, struggle to be assertive, feel that you are reactive and being told you are too sensitive, being labelled as a volatile one. So she has shared that today. This is really out of the ordinary. This is hypocrisy. Narcissistic abuse is real. It hurts. Boundaries are necessary. You aren't your parents' therapist and aren't responsible for fixing them. Their trauma isn't an excuse for the abuse you've received from them. Break the cycle. This was 6 minutes ago. What is going on, Katie Joy? Hypocrisy is the exact opposite of integrity. Yet narcissists will declare that they're the most honest and virtuous people on earth by regularly calling attention to other people's real or fabricated faults and minor wrongdoings. The more they point out flaws in others, the more superior they can appear by comparison. So now she's talking about she's not her parents' therapists and that their trauma isn't an excuse for the abuse that you've received from them. There's something going on. Now, either there is a family matter that's happening behind the scenes. I don't know. But we do know that there are a whole series of legal going on behind the scenes with her at the moment. And whether this is the way that she's going to unhinge, I don't know. But there is something happening. And I just don't know what it is. Has anyone got any ideas? Does anyone have any ideas what this could be? Because it's baffling to me why you would be, well, there's a lot of pointed comments towards her family. So, you know, a lot of airing of dirty laundry, as far as I'm concerned, on social media. So, as I said, I really don't know what's going on. I'd like to know. Yeah. And if you're watching this, Katie Joy, you need to phone a friend. This is all that's going to happen, is that people are going to speculate what's going on in your family and what's going on in your life. And the fact that you keep referring to your family sort of indicates that there's something going on. Because a lot of us aren't stupid. We know what's going on. So, anyway. But, what is going on? But anyway, we've been talking about this yesterday. We were talking about how those battery, you know, how this ship had all these luxury cars were all taken away, you know, were all was burning non-stop. And anyway, the lithium-ion batteries keeping the fire alive on the burning cargo selling carrying luxury cars. So So there's firefighters on there, and they're struggling to extinguish that fire. That fire is burning. And it's adrift off the coast of Portugal's Azores Islands. And the port official said it was unclear the cruise would succeed. The vessel, Felicity Ace, was carrying about 4,000 vehicles. It caught on fire. The crew members were evacuated, but it was the lithium batteries in the electric cars that started the fire, and they're keeping the fire alive. Specialist equipment to extinguish the fire is on its way. Remember, if I said if you could get that, took the specialist equipment on there, hijack the boat, take it and sell the cars. But they can't use water to extinguish the blaze because adding weight to the ship may make it more unstable. So they're not sure whether the batteries sparked the blaze, but they're definitely keeping it alight. The Volkswagen, which owns the brands, did not confirm the total number of cars on board. Everything was on fire for about 5 meters above the waterline, and the blaze was far from the ship's fuel tanks, but it was getting closer. So obviously it was fire, so it was on one of these upper decks, probably. The fire spread further down. The teams could only tackle the fire from the out, cooling down the ship's structure because it was too dangerous to go on board. They could not use water. And traditional water does not stop lithium-ion batteries from burning. The Panama flag ship will be towed to a country in Europe or to the Bahamas. However, it is unclear when that will happen. Smoking Tire Automotive podcast host Mark Farrer was told, I'd love that. I just love that he's got a podcast called Smoking Tire. He's got a smoking car. That the Porsche Vauxhall Spider he ordered was now adrift, possibly on fire in the middle of the ocean. He's got a smoking Porsche. I just love that. That just makes me laugh. So that fire is still going. So that was last week. They're definitely keeping the fire ablaze at the moment. So yeah. So hello for those of you that's just joining us. I was just talking about earlier. I'm just doing a very quick recap. There seems to be a bit of a pity party happening on Instagram at the moment, and it's very concerning. This one we've got about being a family scapegoat. This one is about hypocrisy in the family. This one's about SA. This one's about the narcissistic family tree. This is about feeling invisible in the family. This one is about being spanked as a child. This one's about having mental health issues ignored. Hello, Camilla. So my question is, what's going on? This one to me, I'm just doing a really quick recap. This one to me is very concerning because it says, narcissistic abuse is real. It hurts. Boundaries are necessary. You aren't your parents' therapist and aren't responsible for helping them. Their trauma is an excuse for the abuse you've received from them. Break the cycle. What is going on? And that's what I'm posing the question. What is going on? Because you don't usually air out your family's dirty laundry on social media, or do you? Am I just so old-fashioned now that I don't actually say anything on social media about stuff like that? I do know that there are some legal matters afoot. I know is Todd Chrisley's, I think, is coming up. I think there's some stuff happening in April. But I think the one that's the most concerning is the Swanson one, that maybe she's somehow now involved in that. Remember, she hasn't been live. She has not done a live since that news came out. I can only assume that her lawyer has told her to be quiet, to keep a very low profile. I don't know. But it is very concerning. Anyone got any ideas? because everyone's me about these things. I'm just trying to, what do you think? Then we've heard today that Queen Elizabeth has tested positive for COVID. She's 95 years of age, so she definitely is in the high risk of COVID. And I mean, she's going to have the best medical care, but I find that to be really quite terrifying. And the other big news today is that Australia finally opened their borders. The first flights into the country arrived today, which is really ironic because we still can't go to WA. We still cannot travel around our country freely yet. Yet you can come from overseas. I could fly out of the country and into Australia, but I can't go from Melbourne to Western Australia. Work that out. Oh, I can't work anything out. Oh. So. So, hello, Plan to Create. Yes, open the borders to a new Omicron variant. Yes, and as I said, and that's the other thing. Considering that every state in Australia now is struggling with the Omicron variant, WA is just having an explosion of that variant at the moment as well. Let's just, what do? Let's just open our borders because apparently we need to learn to live with it. Who cares that we've got more people dying than over the last 2 years? People don't matter, and I'm being sarcastic there. I'm horrified that more people are dying to this variant than any other variant in Australia. And I think that's because we've become apathetic, in my opinion. So, yeah. So, getting back to our Katie Joy stuff, what do you reckon's happening for her? Do you reckon there's been a family dispute? Why is she suddenly talking about her parents' trauma is not an excuse for that she can't? You aren't your parents' therapist and aren't responsible for fixing them, she says on Instagram. And she's got to remember that her trauma isn't an excuse to make her son's life bad either. She should be trying to give him the best life possible. You always say, I don't want my child to go through what I do, so I try and, I tried to overcompensate. I think I overcompensated a little bit because of that, but I definitely tried to give them a better life. I think they've had more experiences than what I've had, but you always try and set that foundation better. Hello, Nikki. But yeah, I just think that there's definitely something happening, but I don't know what. Hello, Mama Duke. Frydenberg is in Tasmania at the moment. The Australian Treasurer is in Tasmania when he's probably likely to lose his own seat in the election. He's actually in another state. Wouldn't you be focused on, the election hasn't been called yet, but wouldn't you be focusing on your own state? And Camilla says, and Hassan is not responsible for his parents' problems like that. No, correct. Correct. He's not responsible for them either. I mean, what's he going to think, though, when he's older and he sees the footprints that she's left where she's slamming his I mean, at the end of the day, her parents are his grandparents. So, yeah. I just smell something. There's just something in the air. Just something in the air. This was 18 minutes ago, as I said. This was 18 minutes ago. Now, either there's been an altercation, or maybe her parents have seen what she's been doing on. Yeah, look, this is this. So she goes. This was this morning for all survivors, I believe. This was today. If you've been scapegoated, you might experience scapegoat party. Would you join my party? It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Then we've had this one. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. There's some type of diversion or deflection happening, I guess. Has she ever brought up the subject with her? She's talked about her parents smacking her or using corporate punishment, as she said. I know she always said she didn't get on with her brother because there's a big age group between them. That's what I mean. That's about all I know. But somebody else may know more about it than what I do. Contract says she's doing to her family what she does to everyone else when they call her out, maybe an argument, and this is her way to respond. It might be. It might be. Well, I mean, that's what she does do to everybody else. She calls everybody else out. And she blasts them all over social media. I mean, I guess we've just got to wait now for her to put all the messages online, don't we? Because that's the next step. The next step is that we'll see all the DMs, all the messages going between. They'll be all up there. But this is not the way to do it. You don't blast it all. Just seeing if there's anything on Facebook that's not on Instagram, but it looks like it's all there. Now, I did watch the Sister Wives episode, the final one. That was really, really interesting. You know, with Christine, she sounds like she's going to go live her best life. What I did notice about Sister Wives was the reactions of, particularly between Janelle and Robin. Robin goes, I'm devastated, and she's walked away from the marriage, blah, 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 blah. And Janelle goes, she's happy. She's happy, and I'm happy that she's happy. So it was interesting to see the two contrasts of the women. And, yeah. But definitely there's something afoot. there is something afoot. I is all I can. And I've got to keep my eye on the time because I've got to be somewhere. I've got quiet tonight, so this is only really a short. This is only a quickie tonight. But that last post about the hypocrisies really got me. Really has me thinking. This one is the most. This was 21 minutes ago, so she's probably. And if you're watching Katie, you're giving us cause to. Well, for me, I'm finding it very concerning because I'm a person that cares. For me, there seems to be a cry for help. In my opinion, I'm not an expert, but there's something going on, and she's in need of help, some type of help. But again, that's just my opinion. Because you don't put that type of stuff on and throw you and talk about your family like that if everything's going well and everything's good. And somebody said just recently that her father took down a video that he had a V. So there's obviously something going on that we don't know about, but is playing out in the family. But she's choosing to play it out on Instagram. Just like to add, yesterday my printer, I had done 176 pages. Today I was printing out, I finished doing the printouts for my first unit today, and I hit the 300 page mark. So I'm going to go into over my allocation. So I've still got another 3 units to print out. So I've started. So I'm really just trying to get organized at the moment. I'll show you what I've got. So I've got the binder with the notebook in it, and then all the legal document, all the readings and stuff, the prescribed readings. I'm not doing the optional readings. I'm not going to read what I don't have to read. Someone to the unit 2, which is that. So, contract law. So, but yeah. So it's all very interesting. So I've only got about another week. I've got 2 weeks left. Just over a week, 2 weeks to go. So the 7th of March, my first lot of classes start. So I'm needing to get myself sorted out and organised for that. So anyway, I just wanted to make this one a really quick one just to see what everyone's thoughts were on this, because as I said, I'm a bit concerned by what's being put on there, only because I just find it bizarre myself. Really weird. As I said, you don't do that if you're you don't do that if everything's well and good. But I know that there is a lot of stress. There's a lot of stress going on, and I understand that. And I know that there's a lot of stress going on, but airing your family's laundry is not the way to do it, in my opinion. So, but yeah, there's definitely something going on. But it could be the family's spoken up against her. I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but there is something going on. So if you're watching this on the WePlay crew, well, that's the thing about that's the thing about this, is that it's like a rubber band. You can only stretch it so far and it will go back, and stretch it so far and go back, and then one day you'll stretch it and it breaks. Well, maybe that's what she's preparing for. I think someone was saying that her Instagram followers have decreased quite considerably. That and yeah, I mean, I don't want. But yeah, there could be a sad fish life coming going by person. She probably did have a difficult upbringing, however, that can be caused by addictions. Yeah. And and the other thing is there's lots of people that have a difficult upbringing or troubles in their upbringing and, they overcome them. Or I said to someone the other day, you can either live life as a victim or you can live life as a victor. You can let all your problems, all the things that happened in your life destroy you, or you can rise above them and be the person that, despite all of this happening, you're up here rather than being stuck down here. I'm the person that if everyone says that I'm down here, I will aim for up here. But I think if we were all honest with ourselves, like each one of us would have some type of issue that holds us back from things. I don't know of anybody that hasn't had some type of hardship in their life that they've had to overcome. Some people, unfortunately, don't ever let it. Some people, unfortunately, will let them get the best of them and always live in that victim mentality. Always will think of themselves as that failure, will always think of themselves as that troubled. I mean, a lot of the times now I will joke about stuff. I mean, I joke. That's how I deal with a lot of the stuff that happens in my life. I quite often joke. And if Bella's watching, I did find my tweezers too, by the way. I tend to make everything. I tend to laugh about stuff because I just find laughing is a really good release of tension. And even if something really crazy has happened, traumatic has happened, I'm going to tend to laugh, or I'll try and find something funny. And a lot of people think I'm inappropriate, but then that's how I handle it. But by laughing, laughter releases all those good hormones, endorphins, and everything. It just changes your whole viewpoint because your brain's not dealing with the actual pain of it. That can come later, but then by that time you're a little bit calmer. But anyway, that's just me. But I'm not normal. I tell people I'm not normal. If I was normal, I'd be boring. I always say to people, when you meet me, you'll never forget me because you'll go, I've never met anybody like you before, and I probably will never meet anyone like you again. Because, I'm unique. We're all unique in our own ways. So, because I reckon I would drive myself crazy if there was another me. However, I'd be very productive. And I'd have someone to talk to. I guess. Somebody to listen. But anyway, it's very, as I said, there's something going on. Even the whole reaction to Cody and Christine's divorce, I think, was interesting as well. But anyway, but for somebody that says that it's not been a lot of tea or drama or anything. It's been a lot of her personal stuff being shared. So for me, that stuff would be better on her personal Instagram or speaking to a friend. But again, that's just me. Anyway, I need to get going, so I want to thank you all for watching. If you could please hit the like button as you leave, subscribe if you need to. then hopefully you'll get notified when I'm live. I don't think the notifications worked again. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's really, really annoying. But it might be Restream as well, because I use Restream because I like all their little cool backgrounds. So yeah, make sure you hit like if you're on the replay crew. Hello. Sorry I missed you. I'll be back again soon. All right. Until next time. Bye for now.